Today we're going to talk about the present perfect tense. We'll talk about how to form it, it's very easy, and when to use it. Hello and welcome to another lesson on OET grammar. I'm Sharon, and I think you'll find this lesson on the present perfect tense pretty easy. It's brought to you by edubenchmark.com, and if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single video. We're going to talk about the present perfect tense and how to use it in your OET exam. But if you haven't watched the previous video on verb forms, please go back and watch that first. It talks more about how to form the past participle, and you will need the past participle form to make the present perfect tense. We'll talk about the present perfect simple, both active and passive forms, and the present perfect continuous. Yes, we'll talk about both, but don't worry, they're easy to master. You will most likely use these verb forms on the writing subtest. Let's talk first about how to form these sentences. In the active form, we use the auxiliary verbs have or has, plus the past participle form of the main verb. If you're not sure what the past participle form is, again, please watch our video on verb forms. So, some examples of this verb phrase in the present perfect simple are have taken, has seen, have done, and so on. A sample sentence would be, he has seen a GP for the condition. In the passive form, we use the same structure, but we need to add the word been after has or have. This is the past participle form of the verb to be. Remember, a passive sentence almost always contains the verb to be. Adding this to our present perfect sentence changes it from active to passive. For instance, have been given, has been treated. A sample sentence would be, Mr. Jones has been treated for melanoma. Now let's look at present perfect continuous. For this, we use the auxiliary verb have or has as well, plus the word been, and then the ing form of the verb. For an action that started sometime in the past and is repeated or is still actively continuing in the present, it is better to use this form. For instance, has been getting, has been taking, and have been trying. They have been trying to conceive for the past 12 months. Now let's look at when we should use the present perfect in OET writing. We use the present perfect when we talk about something that happened in the past without a specific date. For instance, he has seen an ophthalmologist for the condition. No specific time is given, but we know that it happened in the past. If a specific time is given, we should use the simple past tense instead, but we'll talk about that in another lesson. We use the present perfect continuous to talk about an action that started in the past and continues to the present. For instance, Mr. Jones has been taking painkillers to manage the pain. In this sentence, Mr. Jones started taking painkillers at some point in the past, and he still takes them, so that's why we say the action continues to the present. Here's another example. We have been waiting to see the doctor since 9 a.m. Did you notice that little word since in the sentence? This is a word we use quite often with present perfect. With the word since, we can indicate when the action started and also show that it is still happening. For example, he has been suffering from ischemic heart disease since 2012. Notice that if you would use the word since, You need to indicate a specific time, such as since 2012, since this morning, or since yesterday. If you want to indicate a length of time instead of a specific time, you can use the word for. He has been suffering from ischemic heart disease for 10 years. You can also use the present perfect tense with the word over to show a change in condition over time. Mrs. Thompson's condition has deteriorated over the past 6 months. Now it's your turn. Let's create some sentences using the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. Decide if you should use the word since, for, or over. Here's the first one. He has been suffering from migraines since 2010. We need the word since because we are using the present perfect continuous and talking about a specific time his headaches started. Here's number 2. The answer is over because we're using the present perfect simple and talking about an action that started in the past and shows a change in condition over time. Here's the last one. He has been smoking 1 pack of cigarettes per day for the past 10 years. Here we need the word for because we are using the present perfect to describe an action that started in the past and continues into the present. Good job! I hope you've benefited from today's lesson. I'd love to know how these lessons are helping you, so please leave a comment below. Don't forget to watch that lesson on verb forms and check out all our other YouTube videos. Also check out our website, edubenchmark.com. There you'll find services and courses and articles that will help you with your OET exam. It has been great, and I hope you have been learning a lot from these lessons. See you next time.